Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another video. I just want to give a brief synopsis on when your life is displaying the opposite of what they prophesied against you. Just know that the Lord's hand is on you, right? And I'm sure at one point in time, we felt like, or maybe even still may feel like, the weight of the world is on our shoulders, right? Like, negative prophecies or negative words spoken over you that could be holding you back from the life that you meant to live. So I'm just going to pretty much get into the fact that the Lord's hand is on you, and it's time to break free from those chains. So just going to keep it real. Just going to keep it real. A lot of us walk through life carrying the burden of those negative prophecies or those harsh words that have been spoken over us. Maybe we've been told that, we won't succeed, or that we're not good enough. And, it can kind of stick with us, right? And that can be incredibly challenging, leading to feelings of like doubt, anxiety, maybe even depression, hopelessness, all those things, right? And we might find ourselves questioning our worth, or might feel trapped in that negative cycle. And I'm here to say that it's definitely tough to shake off those words, right? But here's the thing: like, we often allow for those voices, to drown out the truth of who we really are and what we're capable of doing or capable of achieving. And it can feel like those words have a life of their own, casting shadows over our future. But don't even worry about that. We're definitely going to um, shine some light on this darkness, right? So let's just, take a moment to get into some of those examples that pretty much show like how the Lord's presence can turn our negative situations into, uplifting outcomes, you know. So think about in the Bible, right? Like Joseph. Like Joseph, he faced betrayal, he faced false accusations, he even faced imprisonment, all of which, could have led him to despair. But through all of that, the Lord's hand was guiding him. So ultimately, Joseph rose to a position of power in Egypt, and he saved countless lives, including those of his own family. And if you think about his story, it really teaches us that no matter how dire our circumstances may seem, the Lord is always working behind the scenes to bring out a greater plan. Just something to think about, right? Um, I've known people who've share their own stories and things of that nature, um, and they might have felt defeated, by those negative words that was coming at them, but because of their faith, and support from family and friends and a lot of prayer, they found strength and healing that they never knew that they had. So it's really things like that that remind us that the Lord can really take our struggles and turn them into testimonies of like resilience and hope. So, despite everything that we face, the Lord's hand is always at work, you know, often in ways that we don't immediately recognize. Yes, life throws us curveballs. Yes, we might feel like we're lost in the chaos, but we just really have to remember that the Lord sees the bigger picture. He's weaving our stories together, turning pain into purpose and setbacks into setups for something that's better. It's kind of like that moment in a movie where everything seems to be falling apart, but then the hero rises up, stronger than ever. That's the kind of transformation that the Lord is capable of in our lives. So whenever you might feel overwhelmed by negativity, just remind yourself that the Lord is writing your story, yours, not nobody else's, yours, right? And He has a plan that's far better than anything that you could ever imagine. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I just wanted to give a brief synopsis on this here, right? And really to wrap it up, you know, you pretty much got into, the the truth that the Lord's hand is on you, especially when facing negative prophecies or negative words, like I was saying earlier. You know, even looked at, personal stories, biblical examples, like when I mentioned about Joseph, about, how he faced betrayal and false accusations and imprisonment, but the Lord's hand was guiding him the whole time. And then eventually he rose into a position of power. In Egypt, he saved countless lives, even his own family's lives too. So it's just things like that. Like when it comes to his story, it just basically shows us, like I said before, that no matter how dire our circumstances or situations might be, the Lord is always working behind the scenes to bring out a greater plan. We just have to trust Him. We have to pray and trust that He's doing it, and He will do it as long as we continue to believe, right? So, but but yeah, like I said, when things seem bleak, there's hope, and we just have to recognize that the Lord's active role in our lives, it can really bring encouragement and strength, to just continue to keep pushing forward. And then if other people can see that, they can get encouraged as well. They can get inspired, encouraged, motivated to want to change their situation, and maybe even lead them to wanting to pray, not just for themselves, but maybe for other people that they may know that are in dire situations too, and just continue to, pass that on and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give a brief synopsis on this here. When your life is displaying the opposite of what they prophesied against you, just know that the Lord's hand is on you no matter what. So as long as you believe, like I said, that, you know, well, first off, as long as you love Him, as long as you know that He's there, and you continue to trust that He's working on your behalf, despite what anybody might say or think or feel, you're going to be all right. So, but I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit the like if you haven't already. I'll definitely appreciate it if you hit it on the way out. And as always, continue to stay safe, continue to stay hydrated and monitor your health, and continue to be blessed and encouraged. All right, y'all take care and have a good one.